What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Layla. My goodness, it feels like I haven't been in front of the camera for such a long time because we did a summer series with Julia Edgley, homeopath and holistic practitioner, which gave me enough content to last right through the summer. It is now September, the kids are back at school, so I am going to crack it hard, giving you guys brilliant content about how to heal your topical steroid withdrawal and your chronic eczema. During the summer months, as I was editing a lot of the content with Julia Edgley, I had a really good look at my channel and I realized that there's a video that I am missing in all of my content, and that is simply a video about how to heal topical steroid withdrawal and chronic eczema. So this is my guide to how I healed my topical steroid withdrawal and chronic eczema in 10 easy steps. I'm going to be referring to a lot of previous videos that I've made on my channel already up in this right hand corner, because each of these steps that I've included have basically got their own video already made about them. So this is almost the video that's kind of the overview guide to all my other videos, hence why it is called the guide to healing your TSW and chronic eczema. But before we do, you guys, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, especially if you're new to this channel. Do give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below how your healing process is going and if any of the tips in this video are of help to you today. So number one is to really pick your season. I chose to heal in the winter because the summer I found it extremely difficult to try and heal. So I really actually started in January of 2020 and I was pretty much fully healed by the beginning of the April of 2020, and I did have that lockdown period in order to really focus upon things such as my diet, my lifestyle changes, my supplementation, and everything surrounding what it took to heal. I do live in the south of France, so our summers here can be really brutal and we could have temperatures up to almost 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. So I found that trying to heal over the course of the summer was really very difficult because I had sweat to deal with, I had sun to deal with, I had air conditioning to deal with, and there were just too many elements, especially when it came to actually trying to regulate my body temperature. I was consistently very itchy due to my own sweat, and also I was very, very itchy from the sun at the same time. So for me, trying to do it in the summer just didn't really work. And if you're watching this video right now and you're at the 3-month mile mark or 3 to 6 months mile mark and you really haven't seen any improvements since you first started your TSW journey, then do consider really having a plan of attack during the winter months, because I truly believe that healing in the winter months is a lot easier. Number two is trying to reduce that itch as much as possible, and for me the itch really comes from the inside out, and that really comes to focusing upon our diet. Now, you've probably seen some of my previous videos, and if you haven't, go ahead and check them out here because they're so well worth watching in terms of actually understanding what foods can actually cause that itching sensation. Now, histamine is a release caused by our itching. That is releasing histamine when we scratch our surface of our skin. So we really need to start focusing on low histamine foods and removing those high histamine foods so that our gut is actually working towards healing, because if we heal our intestinal organs, then our skin will start to be able to self-repair from the inside out. Now, I want to be real with you guys, this diet is not a breeze. It does take some work, it does take some understanding, and it does take an enormous amount of change on your part. So be open to the prospect of really looking at new recipes, seeing what you can do with various ingredients, cutting out those things such as the gluten and the dairy and those high histamine foods, and what you have left are really the great tools in terms of healing your gut. Now, it's not an overnight success. It doesn't even take 4 weeks. It can take up to 6 to 8 weeks to really get your gut to start to balance itself, to give it the right bacteria that it needs so that your skin can start healing itself. Now, the diet to me was really the absolute core and success to my healing. And I know that some of you guys might struggle and it seems quite overwhelming having to think about preparing meals without actually having to use some of those ingredients that you're so used to using. So I have made you guys a video, so go ahead and check out what I eat in a day for my TSW and chronic eczema, because hopefully that can give you some inspiration in terms of recipes, my gluten-free, dairy-free bread that I do, a lot of different meals and techniques that I use, making sure that you're having enough omegas in all your foods, such as sardines and seeds and salad. So go ahead and check out those videos and see what you think, and let me know down below in the comments if it's something that you think you might handle making for yourself. The winning factor here is that if you can get to grips with this diet, you'll overcome that itch, and that is the first step that you have and the most crucial step that you need in terms of that pathway to healing. Step 3 is lifestyle hygiene changes. And I'm talking about your day-to-day hygiene regime, your day-to-day hygiene routine, in terms of what you do when you get up in the morning to what you do before you go to bed. And this was a massive changing aspect for me, because I used to shower or bath every single day. But in actual fact, I didn't need any of that at all. I barely needed to wash that regularly. And in fact, now I actually saved myself a huge amount of time, because I just don't shower and bath nearly as much as I ever used to before TSW. The reason why we don't need to bath and shower as much is because it strips our natural oils from our skin, which prevents our skin from self-hydrating. So it's very similar to the no moisture treatment. So by reducing your showers and your baths to only twice a week, you're allowing your skin to lock in and keep the natural oils that are in the skin. And this is another great fast track to healing your TSW, is allowing your skin to really be able to start to moisturize itself. So this is a really crucial idea, and I still practice it to this day, pretty much out of laziness now, because I could shower every day if I wanted to, but to be honest, I just don't. I keep on top of my skin by only showering when I wash my hair, and that is it. And I really make sure that the water temperature is almost lukewarm. Imagine that you're going to give your baby a bath, and that is the same temperature that you must take your bath and your shower. Now, I do fully understand if you're in the thick of your TSW and chronic eczema, you want to be in that bath at least 12 hours a day. I've been there and I've done that. And if that is the case, just make sure that every time you do have a bath, check how alkaline your water is, because the pH of your water will determine the pH of your skin. And remember, the pH of our skin needs to be on that slightly acidic side. So go ahead and find out if you've got a lot of calcium in your normal running tap water, and you might notice this from your kettle. If your kettle's full of a lot of calcium every single week, then you know that you've got very hard water. Now, there's a great way to overcome this hard water if you really do enjoy a bath, and that is to put half a cup of apple cider vinegar in the water. And what that does, it just absolutely equalizes the pH of the water to a 5.5, which is much better for your skin. If your skin's slightly on the acidic side, then it's more likely to actually trap moisture into the skin, and it's less likely to dry out, causing all that flaking and itching and oozing. In terms of hygiene products, you want to go for soaps that don't have any SLSs in them, and this stands for the sodium lauryl sulfates. The sodium lauryl sulfates that you find in many shower gels and bubble baths and hair products literally just strips the oil away from the skin. So you can actually find products that don't contain these SLSs in them. I like to use a lovely soap from Stephenson and Son, and I'll put the link in the description below for you guys. It's a melt and pour. They have no SLSs in it. It's super gentle. So I do a body wash, just the important bits, every single morning, and I have my shower twice a week so that I wash my hair. And none of my hair products also contain SLSs, and I'll put the shampoo I use in the link below as well. It's very balancing for the scalp if you do get an irritated or itchy scalp as well. But removing these SLSs from your hygiene products also just gives your skin a break, because you don't want to be stripping all those essential oils out of your skin, so that once again you can allow yourself to heal from the inside out. All of these hygiene practices can really help reduce the itch, the irritation, which then leads to obviously the oozing. So it really helps break that cycle down. So it's really worth implementing. Now, in terms of what creams you might want to put on your skin, some of you do go down the no moisture treatment quite rigidly, and if that works for you, then carry on doing it. For me, I could not bear the cracked, dry, flaky skin. It actually made me more itchy, so I did need to use a cream. So if you're like myself and you want to have some cream recommendations, I always went for creams that really had no perfume in them, no fragrance in them, no SLSs in them as well, but also they had a numbing agent in them, so that when I went to bed at night, so that I didn't scratch during the night, I would use something like an E45 Itch Relief cream, an Avene Itch Relief cream, the XtraCalm, even I think Roche Posay do a body lotion as well that has a very small numbing agent in it, a very mild numbing agent, and this just helps take that initial itch away from the face and the body, which I think is really, really helpful, just to have that numbing agent in there, just to take that edge off, that itching. At the same time, I found that lotions, lighter lotions, were more easily absorbed into my skin than thicker creams that I tended to just sort of have trouble getting them on my skin. I was pulling my skin a lot, so therefore I was pulling the flakes at the same time, and what that made me do actually was rub my face even more. I tended to be more of a rubber than a scratcher. In terms of having any infected areas on my skin, rather than taking like antibiotics all the time, I would just use the silver spray, which I really like, that just to help kill off any staph infection that I had, namely on my arms. I did get a bit of staph infection on my arms, and I would use the colloidal silver to help kill that bacteria on my skin. So check out as well some colloidal silver down below. The next step, of course, is supplements, and what are the right supplements to be taking. And I talked a lot about this with Julia Edgley in some of the previous videos this summer, so go ahead and check some of those out. But the main supplements that I really enjoyed taking for the itch primarily was the vitamin C, the absorbic acid. I really, really enjoyed this vitamin C. It really took the edge off my itch, and I would take it probably 4 to 6 times a day, just in a little dosette with a bit of water. And it's the absorbic sodium vitamin C, which is that powdery form. It's probably the highest grade quality of vitamin C. The other thing that I always took was an omega-3, just to up my fats, really trying to get that hydration from the inside out and get that oil production going was really, really critical for my healing. I then took a vitamin B complex with a magnesium, and this really helped my fatigue. I felt extremely overwhelmed and exhausted throughout the real thick of my TSW, and I really enjoyed taking that vitamin B complex and that magnesium combined to really give me that boost in the afternoon that I kind of needed to get through to the end of the day. Obviously, you need to nap when you need to nap, and rest is really, really important, and we'll get to that in the next point. But at the same time, just being on the right supplements really just helped fast forward my healing all the more. The other thing that I like to take was a supplement to support my liver and detoxify my liver, sort of a liver functioning supplement. And this, I took a milk thistle, which we call Chardon Marie where I live, and this milk thistle really helped just give the support to my liver that I needed. Finally, I took a calcium supplement as well, because calcium is all about restoring your skin cells, and that was really, really important in terms of your skin barrier repair, was to have that calcium in your supplementation. And I did a video as well about this a few months back, so go ahead and check out that full supplement video on what I took, and there's also a bit of info about probiotics there as well. The next step is homeopathic remedies. Now, if you guys have watched my channel, then you probably know that I worked alongside Julia Edgley. She helped heal my TSW. I saw her every month, and she provided me with different homeopathic remedies in order to heal my skin and to overcome that itch again, because that itch is really the core factor in terms of healing. You overcome that itch, then it can really help fast forward your healing process so that your skin can start to repair itself and we're no longer attacking it from the outside. So the remedies that I took, you can go ahead and check out this video about the remedies that you can take for itch and when you have those itches. And we all have or we all can have different types of itches, nighttime itches, daytime itches, itching on cracked skin, itching on oozing skin. So go ahead and check out that video. It's really, really interesting about what remedies she recommends for the itch. So step 7 is how to manage your stress, anxiety, PTSD. Now this is something that took me quite a long time to learn, that I had significant PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, during the course of my TSW. I didn't really have a huge understanding as to actually how I overcame it until I was fully healed, and even then probably a year afterward. But PTSD is really apparent for those of us going through chronic skin conditions. It really plays on our emotion, it really plays on our stress levels and our anxiety. I myself really did think that I was never going to be capable of healing, that I maybe even didn't deserve it, strangely enough, or in fact that I wasn't implementing things to the best of my ability because I found it so overwhelming. And then I also had a lot of sense of failure at the same time. So there was a lot going on in my head that I really needed to kind of get through and sort out. And I have to say, using some holistic homeopathic remedies help, but the main thing that really helped me manage my stress as best as possible was doing breathing exercises. There's something called binaural beats, and again I'll link them down below, and binaural beats you can find on YouTube here, and they're breathing techniques that I would do every morning and every evening in order to just try and give myself that sense of calm, to know that I was going to get through that day and I was going to be able to heal, and that I did have a good sense of balance in terms of what I was doing and what I was trying to achieve. I didn't put too much pressure upon myself or overthink too much about my healing when I was in my breathing exercises, and I would literally just have that space inside my mind in order just to literally be. It sounds very holistic-y and it sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but I'm not somebody who knows how to meditate, and I don't really know if I've even got the patience to learn it either, but I did find just doing some simple breathing techniques really helpful. Another thing that I used to manage my stress was CBD oil, so go ahead and check out this video here about CBD oil, and I'll also link below a little bit about mental health as well, because I did do a video on mental health and how that can actually affect your healing progress. Going back to some more hygiene tips, tip number 8 is all about your bedding and your clothing and what washing products you use. I ensure that I have silk pillowcases. Now I'm a big lover of silk pillowcases. I do firmly believe that the use of a silk pillowcase can really help enhance the healing of your TSW and your eczema, because it doesn't remove the oils from your skin. So again, it's brilliant for your hair, it's brilliant for your skin. It's also really good for wrinkles, but I just find the luxury of sleeping on a silk pillowcase as well so cooling, especially in the hot summer months. It keeps you at the most regulated temperature, whether it's very hot or very cold, depending on the climate that you're living in. But I have to say, it's such a luxury item and it feels gorgeous, and it keeps you just having that little extra treat, just gives you that little bit of well-being and care that I think we could all do with. So go ahead and invest in a silk pillowcase, also down below, and let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you think it makes a difference. The other thing that you can look out for in terms of your clothing is absolutely no synthetics whatsoever. You want to be wearing very light cottons, linens, bamboo, and the same goes for the rest of your bedding as well. You really want to have high quality sheets, because there's a lot of synthetic fibers that are inside sheets, and you need to really go for something that's super breathable, that's going to really not irritate your skin. So do consider your washing detergent, because the nature of your washing detergent, which gets trapped obviously inside the fibers of your clothing and your bedding, can cause irritation on the surface as well. So I like to go for these True Earth products. They actually come in strips, and what I love about them is that I don't have to carry heavy loads of washing liquid or powder back from the supermarket. They actually deliver these, and you can actually do a payment program with them as well, where they deliver them to you every month. I think I pay about €9.99 for these in euros, and this gives me up to 32 washes, 32 loads, They're really eco-friendly, and yeah, you don't have the heavy load of carrying home washing powder and washing liquid. So I love these. They're fragrance free, there's no SLSs in them, and it's one strip to one load, which is brilliant as well. So go ahead and check these out. Step number 9 is actually changing all your household products out, which is obviously another lifestyle changing tip, but I swear it does make a huge difference. My hands used to be really chronically bad with eczema before I had TSW. Choosing natural cleaning products over chemical cleaning products has literally changed my hands for life. I no longer get itchy hands anymore, and they are always fairly soft, to be honest, but I never have that itchiness like I used to back in the day when I was just using basic supermarket cleaning products, which were full of all sorts of chemicals, bleaches and so forth. So I now opt for getting my own spray bottles. I have essential oils in them. I have a lime and pepper surface spray which disinfects everything. I have some really lovely natural bathroom cleaners, and I just find that this is such a game changer. You can actually make them up yourself. We have something called a Savon Noir here in France, which means black soap, and I put that black soap in a spray bottle with some water, and I can literally use that on literally every surface, and it doesn't ruin anything such as marble or any other sort of special countertop materials or any chrome or brass or anything like that. So I do love my Savon Noir. It's the black soap, so go ahead and check that out as well. And you can always add some lavender essential oils or some rosemary or whatever your favorite essential oils might be. This at the same time is going to help reduce that toxic load. So if you're looking to change out some of your household products and your washing detergents, go ahead and check out some of these tips, because it can really make a massive change in terms of not only your eczema but also your internals as well. Lastly, number 10 is get your rest. It's so important. I made sure that I had a nap almost 3 times a week where I could. I did stop work because I wasn't able to work anymore, as I really had a lot of sleepless nights. In order to make up for those sleepless nights, I would sleep a lot in the afternoons, and at first I felt extremely guilty about having all these naps, but to be honest, my body really needed it. My body was telling me that it needed to sleep, so I just went with it. And I have to say, sleep provokes almost more sleep. So it's almost like the more you sleep, the more you learn to sleep more, as it were. And this helped me actually not only make up for the sleep that I'd lost in the night, but it also trained me to start to sleep through the night as well. They say with babies and children, sleep promotes sleep. So that's where I got the theory from, that if I slept more in the daytime, that I would actually perhaps get a better sleep at night, because I wouldn't be so overtired. So listen to what your body's telling you. If you feel tired, then sleep. You know, your body's trying to repair itself, and it really does need the sleep. So get the rest that you need and practice that self-care and self-love, and remember always to put yourself and your healing first. That's it from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.